Okay, good morning, everybody. It's another time we meet after quite a long time, and we are still in this unprecedented time. So I will still encourage all of us to stay home, avoid crowded places, and if you must go to those places like supermarkets, shopping malls, please remember to put on your face masks. Remember to wash your hands with the running water and soap, and if possible, sanitize. That is the fight and the song we sing all the time to all of us. For your safety, the virus is still spreading. So let's just stay home and observe all the measures that have been put in place by the government, and I believe we shall overcome. So, in our lesson today, as we start the new term, I would like to take you through Microsoft Excel, which I believe you have been introduced to. So, there's a quick recap, and we shall also introduce some new subtopics within the Excel. So, I would like you to respond some of the queries that might arise in our lesson. So, please be active. It's going to be enjoyable despite the online learning. So, take it as a normal class. Welcome all. So, like I earlier mentioned, we are going to learn about Microsoft Excel, or what majority of us call spreadsheet. So, maybe very quickly, I'll open one of the work that is already saved in my PC with your exams. This is 7V. So, if I may zoom my screen, okay, like that. So you will see some of the entries that we have there, and those entries are made with your scores. We have computer literacy, computer skills, and computer proficiency, and they were all rated under a certain score. So the total score was supposed to be out of 50. If you score computer competency 20, skills was out of 10, then proficiency was out of 20. So if you sum all that, you get 50% or 50 marks. So when you complete that percentage, you get 100. So maybe if I do away with this 20, we'll see what happens to our percentage here. Let me just do that and see what happens. It goes back to 60. So I had already inserted the functions, what you guys call formulas. So once you make your entries, you just have your percentage already there. If we do away with this 9 in this column and maybe effect it from 94, it becomes 79, 75 mean. So that's how it works. I will take you through on how to work with functions in our next lesson. But for today, I just wanted to take you through some of the parts of the Excel or spreadsheet. Then we also will look at the interface. So very quickly, in my book, the book that is standing besides the PC. Okay, this is chapter 6 in that book. We have Microsoft Excel 2010 for spreadsheet software, and this is how the interface will look like. Okay, some of the areas we want to talk about are parts of the Microsoft Excel, which includes workbook, worksheet, and charts. So those are three major parts of the Microsoft Excel that you need to know, and you will be working with as part of your work. Maybe in the future, if you become those guys who will be working with Excel as accountants, uh, people who deal with data entries. So you will need to know on how to work with these parts of Microsoft Excel. So, in my definition of what workbook is, it is a, a file which you work and store your data, because each workbook contains many sheets which you can organize various kinds of related information in a single file. We look into what that is when it comes to work. And worksheet is called spreadsheet. It is the primary document used in Microsoft Excel to store and manipulate data. A worksheet consists of cells organized into columns and rows, and it is also always a part of workbook. The intersection of each column and rows is what we call a cell. Cell is the basic unit where we store data. So this part of where we have sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, those are the sheet or worksheets. They form what we call the workbook. So for instance, like when I take you back to where we had our entries here, down here we have 5V, if you can see where I'm pointing, 5V, 6V, 7V, 5C, 4S, 4C, 3C, and 3S. Now, these are the worksheet. The worksheet forms a workbook. Now, in this whole document where we have our entries for the last term exams, is what we call the workbook. Workbooks are made from various worksheets that has related data entries. And I hope I've made myself clear on that. So these ones that are down here, when you open that, you come here, you see various information or data entries that have been made on various worksheets. They are the ones that forms workbook. So how do we create a worksheet? When you go after the very last sheet that you've made, you'll find insert worksheet. Once you click there, you'll have an option of having sheet 1, but you can choose to rename it. You right click, you go to rename. You can choose maybe 8x. You shall have created that, but it is all blank. When you come to the class we are handling today, you have entries. When you come to the one that we've just created, it's all blank. So it is as simple as that. You just click on insert worksheet, or you can use shift plus F11. Can we try that? Shift F11. Sheet 2. It's already created. So I've also been telling you now to use the shortcut keys. It works very fast than struggling with the mouse or Yeah, so it's that simple. So let's look at some of the parts of the next part of the Microsoft Excel is charts. In my definition, I say it is a graphical representation of worksheet data. So the data that you made or entered into your worksheet can be represented in the charts, be it graphs like what we have here. So, okay, on our last part of the lesson, I said I will take you to the interface of Microsoft Excel. Interface is simply the setup of the working space on that program, on that particular program. For instance, what we're talking about is spreadsheet or Microsoft Excel today. So on this red part, if you may open on your PCs, you'll find when you have a file like this, where the name that you've given that specific file will appear on this red part, and that is what we call the title bar. Where just below it, where we have file, we have home, we have insert, we have page layout, we have formulas, we have data, we have review, and view on Microsoft Excel is what we call the menu bar. And very quickly below the menu bar, we have various uh, functions. We have where we have the clipboard, font, alignments, numbers, styles, cells, and editing. So each and every column we mentioned there, we have at least activities. So where we have the clipboard, we have cut, copy, and format painter. And the clipboard, we have a name for that, and we call them the tool bar. They help us to manipulate or edit very quickly what we've entered. You can choose to copy and paste, cut and paste. That's all editing. When we come to font, we can also change the font appearance, the font size. The font appearance is what you guys typically call the handwriting. So we have varieties of that. If you can go with me, you'll see we have a lot of that. And then we have the font size from 12 or whichever size you would wish to have to 72. Then we have the alignments. We have the left, center. We have the right alignments. So if I may open this for you, on this image we have the title bar, we have the menu bar, we have the function toolbar, formatting toolbar, we have columns, we have the row headings, we have the cells, we have the vertical scroll bar, and we have the worksheet, and we have the zoom. So zoom is just to increase the size for a display or for magnification of the screen. So we said cells are the intersection of rows and columns. So for instance, if you can look keenly on what we have here. For instance, if this has to be changed, like what I've changed there is a cell, but it is an intersection between this all. You can change that to different color and this into different color. So we'll have it looks like that. But when you come to where we have the entry 7, now that is an intersection between a row and a column, and we call it a cell. So this is typically what the interface looks like, and some of the features you need to know and how to work with in your Microsoft Excel. The next time we meet and next time we have a lesson, I will take you through on how to insert functions and how to use different functions like sum, multiplication, percentage, division, average, and many other functions. And thank you for listening. Thank you for being attentive. I hope you learned something. Thank you.